Dotz Nano Limited is a leading developer of innovative climate and industrial nanotechnologies, tackling global, environmental and industrial challenges. The company's primary focus is centred around groundbreaking carbon management technologies as enablers of carbon neutrality. Dotz's proprietary carbon-based solid sorbent represents the next evolution in carbon capture technologies, offering an efficient and sustainable approach to drive industrial decarbonisation towards a sustainable energy future. EcoVoice's Tim Langdon talks to CEO Sharon Malka.
Hello, it's Tim Langdon from EcoVoice, Voice of the Earth, and it is my pleasure today to welcome Sharon Malka from Dotz Nano, ASX listed technology company. Sharon.
Thank you, Tim. It is my pleasure to be here.
So Sharon, tell me carbon capture. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Yeah, I think that given the urgency of the climate issue that we are facing in the recent years, we understand that part of energy transition and meeting objectives worldwide will be a carbon capture. And carbon capture will play a significant and pivotal role in getting to those objectives, and specifically with the hard-to-abate industries that have large emissions of CO2 to the atmosphere.
Can you tell me a bit about the technology itself?
Sure. We actually source a patented synthesis process to manufacture porous sorbents, and we converting plastic waste into a nanoporous carbon solid sorbent that is ideal to capture CO2 from flue gas. The reason for that is the high surface area of this nanoporous material and the porosity of this material.
With your technology, how far advanced are you?
So usually technology like that are evaluated by technology readiness level. We are currently completed and achieved a bench scale demonstration unit, and we demonstrate it at a bench scale at lab. And the next stage in our number one priority going forward is to demonstrate it at scale. And demonstrate it at scale means that we are looking forward, and we already commenced the design of a lab scale pilot unit, which is a small scale unit. Hopefully we will achieve this milestone towards the end of the year, beginning of 2025. And thereafter, it's to exploit it and deploy it in an industrial field.
What's involved in that process?
So I think, first of all, just to give a high-level overview of how it works. So basically the sorbent, the nanoporous sorbent that we are actually manufacturing, and we manufacture multiple kinds of sorbents for different industries and for different flue gases. So it is used as a sponge or as a membrane or a filter, if you want to call it, to capture the CO2 from a flue gas. Means that flue gas gets into a filter, the CO2 molecules are captured, and the other gases are getting to the atmosphere. Once it's saturated, you release the CO2, you absorb the CO2 from the filter by either heating it or by pressure vacuum, and then compress it, and it's transported into storage, usually underground. Specifically to our technology, we recently not only achieved the bench scale unit, but also we conducted the sorbent validation testing and a process simulation of this sorbent, all conducted by our partner in Norway, SINTEF, which is the largest CRO for climate technology worldwide. And we demonstrated an enhanced performance of this technology, enabling us to drive down the cost of capture significantly. And what are those properties? One, increased adsorption capacity, actually 3 times higher than a commercial activated carbon sorbent. Second one is better selectivity compared to other gases that we have in the flue gas, mainly nitrogen. And the third one, which is a result of it, it's lower energy requirements. And lower energy requirements is significantly important to reduce the cost of capture, because this is the main cost driver of cost of capture cost.
Is there a lot of interest in your technology as you travel around the world?
Now it's time for CCS to shine. And the reason for that is because there is unprecedented combination of market dynamics that support it. And exactly as you said, on one hand, there is a market viability, the need, the urgency of this problem. Second, we see the government support, policies, regulation, and incentives that they provide in order to deploy it. And we already see target emissions for 2030, for 2040, and moving forward everywhere around the world. The third one is the investment community that invests more and more and provide more capital to this industry. And lastly, which is the most important, I think, it's the economic viability. And now there is the economic viability to move forward and deploy these technologies that are under development and have them part as the net zero strategies that the leading companies are currently adopting.
Obviously, with Dotz Nano, sustainability is central to everything you're doing. Can you tell me some other sustainability initiatives that you have?
This is very unique to our specific technology. It's the fact that we are using plastic waste as a key source of material to produce or to convert it into a nanoporous sorbent for carbon capture. By that, we actually address two of the major environmental challenges. One, plastic waste, and the second one is industrial carbonization. So by combining the two, we actually address two main challenges. In addition to that, we have another technology called Dotz Shield, which is an in-product tagging solution for industrial partners. And this supports them to track, trace, authenticate, and comply with ESG requirements worldwide.
With the plastic waste treatment, that's high on many people's agenda. There's lots of groups that are interested in reducing plastic and plastic waste in the environment. What engagement do you have with those groups? Do you engage with them?
Yeah, so we see actually the interest in multiple, let's say, buckets of potential partners.
Yes.
The first one is exactly as you said, which are companies that deal with plastic recycling. Because at the end of the day, what we are doing is we are leveraging a recycling process called pyrolysis. And instead of recycling, we're upcycling the plastic into nanoporous and use the end material, which is the nanoporous carbon. So this is one, and we got inbound inquiries from those companies and interest from those companies to test this activity. The second one is, of course, industrial hard-to-abate industries like cement, like the iron and steel, chemical manufacturers and other that has already target emissions in place, and all of them are now deploying net zero strategies moving forward. So they are looking for the carbon capture solution as part of their pathway to meet their emission targets.
And it is your view that we're making good strides towards this objective in 2030 or we're dragging the chain. We need to move faster.
I think we need to move faster. We are lagging behind. And
Yes.
again, I'm talking generally. But if you look per territory, so there are some territories like North EU, like in the US, that are more advancing with that, with the deployment or a better stage in adopting it. But we see the world is going towards that. And if I may add, I think that although we do have targets for net zero in 2050, it's good, it's a target, we are lagging behind. The current capacity has to grow more than 140 times than today in order to meet the requirements. That being said, maybe it will move or will push a little bit forward, but we are on the right direction to get there. And I assume that we will see more and more companies adopting those technologies moving forward.
What sort of support are you getting from governments around the world?
The major one is grants, which is development funding.
Right.
And there are different development programs and different funding programs for the different stages. We are currently in the process of applying for multiple funding programs, both in Australia, which is very active in this field, and they have several programs to support development of CCS technologies in different stages, in the late stage as well as in early stage, as well as in Israel. and this is what we are looking for.
Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
I started my career in accounting and financial, and this is my background. But very early at my career, I understand that I want to move to the other side and not to be just a consultant, but rather the executor or making things happen and make a difference. And this is why I moved to the other side of managerial roles, and I spent most of my career in different executive roles. Before I joined this company, as I said, I led a biotech Nasdaq-traded company and took it from a development stage into approvals worldwide, and thereafter launch of the product. And when I joined Dotz a year ago, the reason for that was the opportunity that I view, the opportunity in terms of the market we are addressing, the opportunity with the company unique solution. And I wanted to bring my expertise and to combine it with the other leadership team in the board, in the executive team, to take this technology and execute on our growth initiatives.
Sharon, Malka, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim.